I gave my son everything. He left me to die. Then I found the loophole. Julian's laughing. I can hear it through the phone. Some charity gala. String quartet in the background. Wine glasses clinking. Women in gowns. Men in tuxedos that cost more than my truck. He doesn't know I can hear him. Pocket dialed me by accident. I'm about to hang up when I hear my name. Elias? A woman's voice. Your father. Yeah. Julian sounds relaxed. Happy. He's declining. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's fine. Really, he had a good run. Had. Like I'm already gone. I'm sitting in my kitchen in Youngstown, Ohio. The one Margaret and I bought in 1983. Rust Belt town. Steel mills shut down 30 years ago. Half the storefronts on Market Street are empty. The kind of place people leave and don't come back to. Except I never left. Built a landscaping company here. Raised 2 kids here. Buried my wife here. And now I'm staring at a hospital bill for $43,000 I can't pay. The same night my son is laughing at a gala. I listen longer. The estate's complicated, Julian says. But we've got it handled. Someone asks if he's okay. I'm fine, he says. Honestly, it's almost a relief. He's been difficult. Difficult. I worked 70-hour weeks so he could go to college debt-free. I co-signed his first mortgage. I gave him every advantage I never had. And I'm difficult. I hang up. Sit there in the dark. The kitchen faucet drips. Same leak I've been meaning to fix for 6 months. Can't afford a plumber. Can't bend down long enough to fix it myself anymore. Diabetes wrecked my legs. Neuropathy makes my hands shake. I'm 68 years old, and I feel like 80. Outside the window, I can see the old Republic steel mill across the river. Shut down since '84. Rusted cranes just standing there like gravestones. My father died in a mill accident in '71. Crushed between 2 rail cars. They gave my mother a $500 check and a folded flag. I swore I'd never die like that. Turns out I'm dying worse. Alone. Broke. While my son drinks champagne. Maya sold her car 3 weeks ago. My daughter, 28 years old, works at a non-profit in Cleveland, makes $32,000 a year. Shares a 4th-floor walk-up with a bartender named Sierra. She didn't tell me she sold it. I found out by accident. Someone tagged her in a Facebook post. Photo of a 2011 Honda Civic. Great first car for my daughter. Thanks, Maya. I called her. Why'd you sell the Civic? Long pause. I needed the money, Dad. For what? Another pause. Rent. My chest went tight. I can help. No. Her voice cracked. You can't. She was right. I couldn't. 2 days later, she posted a video on Instagram. Just 30 seconds. Filmed from inside a bus. Airtight Route 22. Rain streaking down the window. Her reflection barely visible in the glass. No caption. Just the sound. Hydraulic brakes hissing. Wet tires on pavement. Someone coughing near the back. The robotic voice announcing stops. Euclid Avenue. Next stop, Euclid Avenue. I watched it 40 times. Maya had a car. A paid-off car. Freedom. Independence. Now she's on the bus in the rain because her father can't help her and her brother won't. I know why she sold it. Because Julian told her not to give me money anymore. Dad made his choices, he'd said 6 months ago. We can't let his problems become ours. Our problems. Like I got sick on purpose. Like the medical bills were some kind of moral failure. I sat in my kitchen that night and felt something I hadn't felt in years. Shame. Not because I was broke. Because my daughter was suffering for it. And I couldn't fix it. I didn't go to the hospital because I wanted to. I went because I collapsed in the garage. One minute I'm trying to change the oil in my truck. Next minute I'm on the concrete. Can't breathe. Can't move. Neighbor found me 2 hours later. They took me to Riverside Methodist in Columbus. I'd driven down to see an old friend. Didn't make it. The ER doctor was young, tired. He looked at my chart like he'd seen it 1,000 times before. "We need to run tests," he said. "There's a mass near your pancreas. Cancer? We don't know yet." But his face said he knew. They admitted me that night. By morning, the infection had spread. Fever spiked to 103. I couldn't keep food down. Couldn't think straight. Dr. Daniel Price came in on the second day. Older guy. Calm voice. The kind of doctor who's delivered bad news so many times he's learned to make it sound gentle. He stood at the foot of my bed with a tablet. "The CT shows a mass near the pancreas," he said. "There's also a serious infection. We need a biopsy before we know exactly what we're dealing with." I nodded. Then he said the part that changed everything. "If the mass is what we're concerned it may be, and if the infection continues to spread, your condition could decline very quickly." "How quickly?" He paused. Doctors pause when they're choosing which truth you can handle. "Possibly within days." Days. I can't give you an exact number, but I heard one anyway. 3 days. Maybe less. I closed my eyes. Thought about Margaret. About the kids. About 40 years of work that led to this room. This bed. This ending. When I opened them, Dr. Price was gone. And I was alone. Julian didn't come. I didn't expect him to. But Maya did. She took a Greyhound from Cleveland. 4-hour trip. Got to the hospital at 9 p.m. still wearing her work clothes. Hair tied back. Eyes red. She sat beside the bed and held my hand. Didn't say anything. Just held it. That's when I knew. Julian had told her not to come. And she came anyway. "You didn't have to do this," I said. "Yeah, I did." "Julian's gonna be mad." She looked at me. "I don't care." I wanted to believe her. But I saw the way her hands shook. She did care. She was just choosing me anyway. And that broke me worse than the diagnosis. Eleanor Walsh showed up the next morning. My attorney. 61 years old. Sharp as a knife. She'd handled my business for 20 years, helped me through Margaret's estate, kept me out of trouble more times than I could count. She didn't call first. Just walked in carrying a brown leather briefcase and a cup of coffee from Tim Hortons. "Elias." "Eleanor." She set the briefcase on the chair. "We need to talk." "About what?" "About what Julian's been doing." My stomach dropped. She opened the briefcase, pulled out 3 documents, spread them across the bed. "Do you remember signing these?" I looked at them. The first was titled Partition Agreement, dated 8 years ago. My signature at the bottom. "Barely," I said. "Do you remember what it does?" I shook my head. Eleanor sat down. "This agreement legally separates your debts from any future assets. It was designed to protect Julian from your liabilities. So I can't touch him." "Correct. Even if you recover. Even if you win the lottery. This document ensures that your financial problems can never become his." I stared at it. "He told me it was smart estate planning." "It is," Eleanor said. "For him." She slid the second document forward. "Promissory note. You borrowed $40,000 from Julian 3 years ago. Do you remember?" "Yeah, medical bills." "Did you read the terms?" "No." Her jaw tightened. "There's a clause on page 4. If you die, Julian becomes primary creditor of your estate. He gets first claim on everything you own before anyone else. The house, the truck, the pension. All of it goes to satisfy this debt." I felt cold. "And because of the partition agreement," Eleanor continued, "he won't owe a single cent of your medical debt. He inherits everything, pays nothing." I looked at Maya. She'd gone pale. "He set this up," she whispered. Eleanor nodded. I couldn't breathe. "There's one more," Eleanor said. She placed the third document in front of me. Property deed transfer, dated 9 months ago. "What's this?" "You signed over a piece of property to Julian. A 1/4-acre parcel down by the Mahoning River, old shipyard dock." I remembered the place. My father had worked there in the 50s, loading steel onto barges, 12-hour shifts, hands bleeding from the cold. The whole shipyard went belly up in '79. The land sat empty for 40 years. Rusted cranes, broken concrete, gravel lots full of weeds and trash. I'd inherited the dock when my uncle died. Didn't even know I still owned it. "Why would Julian want that?" I asked. Eleanor's face went hard. 3 weeks ago, a tech company called Helix Data Systems announced plans to build a server farm in Youngstown. They need deep water access for cooling infrastructure. She pulled out another paper. "Your dock is one of 3 parcels in the region that meets their requirements." My hands started shaking. "How much?" Eleanor looked me in the eye. "Preliminary offer, $18 million. The room went silent. Maya covered her mouth. I just stared. 18 million. Yes. And Julian owns it. Legally, yes. You transferred the deed to him 9 months ago. He told you it was for tax purposes." I remembered now. Julian had come to the house, brought paperwork. Said the property was worthless, but keeping it in my name created unnecessary tax exposure. "Sign here, Dad. It's just a formality." I'd signed. Didn't even read it. Eleanor leaned forward. "Elias, this isn't just smart planning. This is a strategy." "For what?" "For profit." She opened her briefcase again, pulled out a printout. I pulled the original contract. Julian's handwriting is all over it. Notes in the margins. Revisions. Questions to his lawyer. She spread the pages out. I saw Julian's handwriting. Neat, precise, the same handwriting he'd used for school essays. Eleanor pointed to page 17. "This clause ensures that if you die intestate, the dock transfers automatically. No probate, no delays. Julian gets it clean." She flipped to page 22. "This section blocks Maya from contesting the transfer. Even if she suspects foul play, she has no legal standing." Page 31. "And this waives your right to reclaim the property even if you recover from illness." I stared at the pages, at Julian's notes, at the care he'd taken. This wasn't some standard form a lawyer drafted. This was Julian's work. He thought of everything. Every loophole, every contingency, every way I might survive, and every way to make sure it wouldn't matter. Eleanor's voice went quiet. "I've been practicing law for 34 years. I've seen asset protection agreements. I've seen estate planning. I've seen families fight over money." She looked at the contract. "I have never seen anything this airtight from someone who isn't a lawyer." She turned to the last page. Julian's signature. It wasn't just signed. It was performed. Big, confident. The letters thick and bold. Like he was proud. Eleanor closed the folder. "He wrote a masterpiece, Elias." I felt sick. A masterpiece of greed. I didn't sleep that night. Couldn't. The infection burned. The IV beeped. Nurses came and went. But all I could think about was Julian. My son. The kid I taught to ride a bike. The kid who cried when his mother died. The kid I worked 70-hour weeks for so he could have a future. He'd spent years building this. Not out of hatred. Out of calculation. He didn't want me dead. He just wanted me gone. And he wanted to profit from it. Clean. Legal. Perfect. Miguel came the next morning. Miguel Alvarez. 63 years old. Worked with me for 30 years. Foreman. Friend, the only person who never stopped checking on me after Margaret died. He set a gas station coffee on the table. You look like hell, Elias. You always know what to say. He sat. I told him everything. When I finished, Miguel didn't move for a long time. Then he said, "What did the doctor actually say? 3 days?" No. What were his exact words? I thought about it. Dr. Price had said possibly within days. He'd said if the mass was malignant. He'd said we needed more tests. He never said 3 days. I just heard it that way. Miguel leaned forward. My brother had pancreatitis 6 years ago. First scan scared everyone. They thought it was cancer. And it wasn't. Infected cyst. Treatable. He pulled out his phone. I know a specialist at Cleveland Clinic. Let me make a call. Miguel, you're not dead yet, Elias. So stop acting like you are. Dr. Rebecca Sloan called that night. She'd reviewed my scans remotely. There's definitely an abnormal area near the pancreas, she said. But I don't agree that the imaging alone supports a terminal diagnosis. I gripped the phone. What do you think it is? Possibly an infected pseudocyst. Related to pancreatitis. Serious. Dangerous. But not cancer. You're sure? I won't be sure until we biopsy it. But yes, Mr. Bennett. I think you're going to survive this. I covered my face with both hands. For the first time in weeks, I cried. Not because I was dying. Because I wasn't. Eleanor came back the next day. We need to move fast, she said. Why? Because Julian doesn't know you're going to survive. She was right. Julian thought I'd be dead by the weekend. He thought the doc would transfer clean. He thought the debt would erase any guilt. He thought he'd won. Eleanor spread new documents across the bed. Here's what we do. The biopsy came back 3 days later. No cancer. Infected pseudocyst. Treatable with drainage and antibiotics. I'd live, but I didn't tell Julian. Didn't tell Maya yet either. I told Eleanor to keep it quiet, to let the hospital records stay vague, to let Julian keep planning. You sure about this? Miguel asked. No. Then why? I looked at him. Because I want to hear what my son says when he thinks I'll never answer back. They came 4 days later. Julian and Amanda. Maya was at work. I was on her couch. Still recovering. Still weak. But alive. I heard them in the hallway first. Footsteps. Keys jingling. The door opened. Julian walked in first. Didn't knock. He had a spare key. Maya had given it to him years ago for emergencies. This wasn't an emergency. This was an invasion. Amanda followed behind him. She looked around Maya's apartment like she'd stepped in something. The peeling linoleum. The rattling fridge. The thrift store couch I was lying on. She wrinkled her nose. God, Maya. You actually live here. She didn't wait for an answer. Just walked to the kitchen. Ran her finger along the counter. Checked it for dust. Julian didn't even look at me. He opened the fridge. Moved a carton of milk. Closed it. When's the last time she cleaned this? I stayed still. Eyes half closed. Pretending to sleep. Amanda leaned against the wall. Arms folded. We can't keep doing this, Julian. Pretending this is sustainable. I know. He sat down at Maya's small kitchen table. Didn't ask. Just sat. Pushed aside her mail. A bill from Cleveland Clinic. An overdue notice from her student loans. He spread out a leather folder. Clicked a pen. Amanda looked at him. You really think she'll go for it? She doesn't have a choice. Julian opened the folder. I recognized the letterhead. Bennett Grounds and Property Care. My company. Dad's got maybe 2 weeks left, Julian said. After that, we need to move fast. Probate takes time. If we don't have everything lined up, the state takes half. Amanda sat beside him. What about Maya? What about her? Does she know about the doc? Julian smiled. Cold. Calm. No. You're not going to tell her. Why would I? Amanda paused. Julian. She'll get something. Just. Not half. How much? He didn't answer right away. Just flipped through papers. Then he said, enough for a decent funeral. I opened my eyes. Julian saw me. Froze. For just a second, the mask slipped. Then it came back. Elias. Amanda's voice. Soft. Sweet. Fake. You're awake. Yeah. Julian stood. Dad, you should rest. I've been resting. I need you to stop lying. The room went still. Julian's face didn't change. Still calm. Still controlled. I don't know what you mean. I reached under the couch cushion, pulled out the brown folder Eleanor had left. Set it on the coffee table. Quiet. No yelling. No drama. Just the folder. Julian stared at it. You wrote a good contract, Julian, I said. Real clean. Dad. The partition agreement. The promissory note. The deed transfer. I opened the folder. Slid the first paper toward him. You were so busy making sure you wouldn't share my debt. Julian looked down at the paper. His face went pale. That you forgot you wouldn't share my future. Amanda grabbed the document. Read it. Her hands started shaking. What is this? She whispered. Rescinded deed transfer, I said. Signed 2 days ago. The doc's back in my name. Julian's voice came out quiet. You can't do that. I can. Eleanor checked. You never filed the transfer with the county. Legally, it was still mine to reclaim. Amanda stood. This isn't legal. It is. We'll fight this. Go ahead. I handed Julian the second paper. Medical clearance. Signed by Dr. Rebecca Sloan. What's this? He whispered. I'm not dying. He looked up. What? Infected pseudocyst. Treatable. I'll be fine. Julian sat down hard. Amanda's face went white. I kept going. The doc sold yesterday. Helix Data Systems. $18 million. Julian just stared. Minus taxes. Minus Eleanor's fees. Minus the cost of paying off every medical bill you said would bury me. I looked at him. The rest goes into a trust. For Maya. And for people like her. Silence. Julian's hands were shaking now. You can't do this. I already did. I'm your son. And I'm your father. He stood. Knocked the chair over. I took care of you. You wrote a 40-page contract to profit from my death, Julian. Don't tell me what you did. Amanda grabbed her purse. We're leaving. Julian didn't move. He looked at me. Really looked. And for just a second, I saw the kid again. The one who used to fall asleep on my shoulder during long car rides. Then it was gone. You'll regret this, he said. Maybe. I'm still your son. Then act like it. He walked to the door. Stopped. Didn't turn around. You chose a stranger over me. No, I said. I chose the daughter who sold her car in the rain so I could eat. He left. Amanda followed. The door slammed. I sat there, hands shaking, heart pounding, alive. Julian tried to fight it. Hired a lawyer from Cleveland. Big firm. Expensive. Claimed I wasn't competent when I signed the rescission. Said Miguel had manipulated me. Said Eleanor had violated legal ethics. None of it stuck. Dr. Sloan testified I was fully coherent. The notary provided her notes. Eleanor had documented every conversation, and the recordings Miguel had made. The ones where Julian and Amanda discussed my funeral while I was still alive. Those didn't help his case. The judge dismissed everything. The sale went through. The trust was funded. Julian got nothing. Maya cried when I told her. Not sad crying, the other kind. She bought a used Toyota Corolla the next week. Nothing fancy, but it was hers. Paid in cash. She also paid off her student loans, quit her job at the nonprofit, started her own, helping Rust Belt families navigate medical debt. Named it after her mother. The Margaret Bennett Foundation. I cried when I saw the sign. Miguel officially retired. I gave him a share of the company before I sold the rest to the employees. He tried to refuse. I told him it wasn't a gift. It was payment. For 30 years of friendship. For sleeping in a chair outside Margaret's hospital room. For cutting my grass every Thursday after she died and never sending a bill. For making the call that saved my life. He cried too. We're both getting old. Julian sent one letter. Typed. 2 paragraphs. No signature. You betrayed me. After everything I did for you. After every sacrifice I made. You chose a stranger over your own son. I hope it was worth it. I read it twice. Then I wrote back. 1 sentence. I didn't choose a stranger, Julian. I followed your rules. You just didn't like how they ended. He never responded. I'm 70 now. The infection's gone. The pseudocysts healed. I still get tired. My hands still shake in the mornings. But I wake up in my house. The one Margaret and I bought in 1983. I drink my coffee black. I watch the sun come up over the old Republic steel mill. And I don't owe anyone a damn thing. So here's my question. Julian says I betrayed him. That I should have given him the money because he's my son. That blood matters more than paper. I say I just followed the rules he wrote. If your son left you to die for $18 million, would you still give him a penny? Tell me in the comments. I'm reading them all.